This is Shawn Irwin, your youth director with Darts Ontario. The Darts Ontario program started out in 1984 for the adults and 1986 for the youth program. Back then, it was all Ontario. In 1995, Darts Ontario split and the Northern Darts Association was formed. Each year, Darts Ontario would send a team to compete at nationals put on by the National Dart Federation of Canada, also known as the NDFC, which started in 1977 for the adults and 1986 for the youth program. I wanted to talk to our youth, past and present, to see how they got into darts and their story. This is episode 1, and I'm with Darts Ontario Senior Male Singles Champion and 2020 Team Ontario member Brayden Hall of the Niagara Youth Dart League. All right, thank you for taking the time to answer some questions, Brayden, so the dart community can get to know more about Brayden Hall. How old were you when you started playing darts?
In the league or like recreationally?
Recreational.
So when I was young, my dad never wanted me to touch his dartboard. And his dartboard was right above a freezer. So I could always hop up on the freezer and grab his darts that he left in the board. So I started grabbing darts and throwing darts probably around 9 or 10. And then I didn't actually start like throwing darts with him until I was like 12 or 13. And then I joined the league at 13.
And how did you get started playing darts? And who inspired you to do it competitively?
So, it was, well, my grandpa on my dad's side and my grandpa on my mom's side both play darts. And my uncle plays darts and my dad plays darts. So it's like, it was kind of meant for me to play darts. So I kind of got inspired by them coming over here. I was watching them. I kind of got interested in the game and I always liked math. So I kind of incorporated that. And then, I would say it was probably my dad and my mom's grandpa. My mom's dad, so my grandpa on her side.
That's great. And how often do you practice during the season? And do you practice during the off season as well?
Well, the off season's right now, and I practice. Well, this year I started taking it a lot more seriously. Like when I won my championship, I started taking it a lot more seriously, and it started last summer. I was on the board at least, my guess was at least 3 times a week in the off season, and then I was on the board every day I could. I'd come home from school. I'd go on for like an hour and a half, and then when it got closer to say December, closer to provincial time, I would be on there every day, kind of thing, doing 2 hours, 2.5 hours, playing until I had to go to bed, basically, just to try and get myself better, because I wasn't taking it as seriously before, and then it just kind of something clicked, and I was like, you know what, I've got potential here, and then just started going. And now during the off season, I'm on the board. My guess is 6 days out of the 7.
Well, you've proven that you're very competitive. You've done very well. How do you prepare yourself before a big match with getting yourself focused?
So I just go through my kind of warm-up routine, kind of just, oh, you're a big name, cool. I'm not known, not a big deal. I'm starting to get known now, so people always be like, I actually had some guy approach me from like the UK or something, asking me how to get better, and I was like, oh, why'd you come to me? He's like, oh, I saw you play on the streams. So I was like, cool. So I kind of just mentally, I'm like, okay, anybody can beat anybody on any given day, kind of thing. It's like, just play your game, just focus. Just don't focus on anything other than the board. And then I'm just like, if I'm throwing at the triple 20, I'm staring at the red. If I'm throwing at a double, I'm staring at the color of the double.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I just focus on the little things I need to hit.
I think you really made a name for yourself before the provincials, which was the Friday night, and you won the blind draw doubles, which you did really well with that.
That felt pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That was big. And you won some money too. So
yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Darts is a very emotional game. How do you control your emotions during those big games?
During the big games, I kind of just, if I throw a bad throw, like on stage, if I would have thrown, I don't know if I did, I probably did. If I threw like a 45, and I'll just kind of go, I'll look to the crowd and just shrug, kind of thing, kind of laugh it off, look at someone smiling about it. Like Jamie Ellis, if I was him, Steve Warnock, Bruce Davey, Debbie Lynn, stuff like that, I would just look over to them, see their expression. They're like, ooh, 45. But I'm like, whatever. Go back, miss a 180, and I'll come back and go, I choke. Kind of just keep it light.
Yeah.
Don't try and like over pressure yourself, because me personally, I love pressure, but I know a lot of people can't handle pressure. So a big thing is just keep it light and airy. For me, I can play in both situations. So
Well, that's great. And what's the best part of competing for you?
I've always been very competitive, and I love winning. But for me, I'd rather throw great. Say I throw, what's my best? An 84 average over like I threw an 82 average over 30 legs against Kevin Luke from America and lost 16-14. I'm happier playing that game than I am winning with a 70.
Yeah. Yeah. Your average is
I
right
just
up
like,
there.
yeah, I like seeing the improvements, and I like seeing myself. If I'm losing, I'm happy. I'd rather see myself do good and lose than do bad and win.
So when you have a bad game, you find it
Kind of
still easy enough for yourself to concentrate on that next match and just ignore what just happened in the last game? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just kind of look back at it as like, oh, well, something wasn't wrong. Let's just focus. Let's do a little bit more focusing here, and kind of just keep going over things by mind. Like just hit more triples, hit doubles, whatever happened in that game. I'll be like, okay, that's not me. Let's get this over with. Let's new game,
Yeah.
new throw. Just keep going.
Stay in focus. So don't
Hmm.
worry about the past, right?
Exactly. Just take it one leg at a time.
Speaking of the past, since 2017, you placed first in your zones 4 years in a row. As a junior, you made it to the knockout round twice, but it was 2020 as a senior that you went the distance and won the senior male singles championship. Tell us about the experience and becoming a Team Ontario member, and what does it mean to you?
It means a lot to me just seeing where I came from. Like my first year being in junior, no one really knew me. Made a couple friends, not many. A little bit of a shy guy. Me and my partner kind of just stayed together. Made it to knockout, but got knocked out right away. The next year, saw a better result. Made it to the second round, got knocked out again. Same thing, didn't make very many friends. My third year, kind of really branched out, started making a lot more friends, and then made it to top 8 and ended up having a grudge match against the winner, Donovan Pilon. And it was an interesting match. I missed my doubles, kind of screwed me over. I had a little bit of a brain fart, left a bad double. And then seeing the next year and I just wiped everybody, in my opinion. I lost 2 legs in singles. I came back with a vengeance kind of thing. I never stopped. I never put the darts down, and I just kept at it. I went to every adult tournament I could, took the beatings in the adult tournaments, spent my winnings from the youth tournaments on adult tournaments to get beat, just to get better.
No,
That's the
that's
kind of
great.
thing I
Yeah.
do.
So for next season, I imagine your biggest goal is to make nationals in Nova Scotia 2021. With the cancellation of nationals this year due to COVID, uh, tell us about how you will prepare yourself to reach your goal and do this again.
I'm just gonna stay with what I'm doing. I'm improved. Like I talked a lot. I'm gonna shout out Jim Long here in a little bit. I've talked to Jim ever since like end of June, mid July, kind of thing. And I was just wanting to improve my darts. So seeing a little bit of improvements, not a lot. I just wanted to know what I can do to get to the next step, because I do want to play on some tours. I would love to get a CDC card eventually. I would love to go over to England, kind of follow in his footsteps. But like as a younger guy, kind of like the Austin Marshall,
Yeah,
or I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but
I think that's
I
right.
think that's it. But I've seen him, and just doing this online stuff has really been helping. And I've just come a long way. Like provincial weekend, my guess was I was throwing around 65 to 70 all weekend without like a drop. I had a couple games here. It was like, oh, 55. Oh, well, what's going to happen? And then I just bounced back with like a 75 kind of thing. I was in between 65 and 75. Now I'm like 75, 85. And it's just a great improvement. Personally, I love seeing myself throwing better, even if I lose. But obviously, winning is the goal. And I know I've been told I try not to let my head swell because everybody keeps telling me, oh, yeah, you're great. But then I think we had this youth online cup, and they were expecting me to win it. And Joey Leno from New York came. I didn't know who he was. Everybody's like, hey, he's a good shot. And he wiped me. Every time we played, he wiped me. I didn't see a leg. I didn't see a double kind of thing. But now we're going back and forth, and I ended up just beating him in the CDC Youth League we have going on.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thanks. But yeah, for the most part, it's just keeping focused, doing just be me kind of thing. Just play my game and then make it on stage again.
Have you had any companies reach out to you about sponsorship?
No, I have not actually. I've been looking a lot. I recently switched over to L Style instead of Cosmo, and that's a big thing for me. And I'm actually liking them a lot better. And I'd love to get in with L Style. L Style would be huge for me, especially because Randy Moffat, Smurf Darts, does do a lot of stuff for the youth too. And he's a big, like, I got my shirt through him. And I would love to just, like, people that help out the youth, I'd love to help them back too, giving them a little bit of.
That's great. A lot of support in the youth program. And I think once we can get rid of this COVID and things get back to normal, you will find sponsors reaching out, I'm sure, for, finishing first in Ontario. Yeah. That's a huge feat for you there. So well done.
Who would have known what would have happened in Nova Scotia, right?
Well, I think we're all confident. We know we would have done well.
Yeah, well, I hope so. Thank you. But there could have been some sponsors out there too. Who knows?
That's right. Exactly. So in the game of darts, you must become an expert in calculating in your head. You see the pros and they know what to shoot for each dart. What have you done to improve your game with calculating in your head?
So I'm at the point now where, yeah, you'll have brain fart here and there, but for the most part, I know exactly what I'm doing on the board. But that started off as soon as I got in the league. 121 was getting pounded in your head. Like, there was no giving up on 121. You were playing it constantly. And if it wasn't 121, it was 170. But they'd start off with the lower outs. If you weren't as, like, capable of doing the bigger outs, you'd go from 60 up to 101. And then you'd get the 121 going. Like, Bruce Davies big on the 121. He's always doing it. And it's funny because when I lost to Donovan, I had 75 left, and I went 45-30, and I hit the 15. And that's what messed me up. If I would have went 51-24, like you're supposed to do, it would have been better off. But oh well, right. But 121 is the key, and just knowing leaving what. Say you're at like 329, knowing to hit 99 to leave 230. Say you have only, I'd rather leave 230 than 299 because I can stay on one number. I'd rather have 3 single 20s to leave 170 than have the risk of dropping down to a 19 on that last dart and throwing a 7 or throwing a 1. Kind of, it's just more of a, like, know your game before you make decisions like that.
Yeah, and being able to do that on the fly. And you've had some great coaches in Niagara, Meriton before that, and you've done incredible. So good job on that. Do you play any other sports?
I played lacrosse. I played soccer growing up until I hit about 10. Then I started lacrosse and ball hockey at the same time. And I played lacrosse. Everybody was like, go play travel. You don't belong in house league kind of thing. And then it was just a money thing. You don't have the money to go travel. You don't have the time to go travel. So house league eventually came to an end. And then I stuck with just high school lacrosse, which we've made it 1 point out of OFSA every single year. We've lost to Holy Cross back-to-back years in double overtime. And, like, we were like, this is our year. And then it just got shut down because of COVID. But other than that, I played ball hockey, and I've been doing all right in ball hockey. I've played a lot of men's. Like, I've always been stepping up in my sports to play an older age group. Like in lacrosse, they would move me up. Ball hockey, I went from playing youth at 15 to playing adults around 16, just to better my game kind of thing.
So do you think darts is your favorite sport right now?
100%. I would. So it was funny. If I would have made nationals, which I did, that nationals tournament was on the same weekend as a ball hockey tournament in Philly. And I went to my coach before our provincials, and I was like, if I make nationals, you're not seeing me in Philly. There's not a chance you're seeing me in Philly. I'm in Nova Scotia.
Well, I wish I could have
So that
brought you
was
to
my big
nationals.
thing. I was like,
So
oh, I would have loved it.
yeah. What hobbies do you have besides sports?
I play some video games here and there. Not much really. I just kind of play darts and
Yeah.
work. And if I'm not playing darts, I'm playing sports. Or if I'm not playing darts down here, I'm having an off day. I'll play some video games, or I'll just go on my phone. Kind of just keep it chill, do my own thing, just do what I feel like doing. I do golf sometimes too. I do like golfing.
Good. Now you have a dart tournament today, is it?
Yeah, so there's just this little one going on at the Niagara Falls Core. There's a 24-man max tournament. There's like 22, I think, at the moment. But yeah, it's going to go round robin to knockout. There's some good shots there.
Is there any more youth, or is this adults?
It's an adult tournament, but they let me in there. I was like one of the first 15 people to sign up. But yeah, I obviously wanted in because I'm playing in an online league right now in adults, and I'm sitting in. So all the games are done except I have one game left, and I'm sitting in third, 1 point behind second, 7 points or 6 points behind first, and it's 11 legs total points.
Wow.
So if I get 8 points, I get in first. And then I'm playing in a youth league, and I'm sitting in first by 1 point.
Good for you. They might regret letting you play today. Then it sounds like.
Well, I mean, some people might, but there's some great shots. Like who's in it tonight? Darcy Trenholm, Stuart Brown's in it. Hayden Brown's dad. There's a lot of other good shots that I'm missing out on. Justin Haas. There's just local guys that you wouldn't see at a big name tournament, but they've got the capability to be at a big name tournament.
Tournaments are not for everybody, but you had incredible finals on stage.
Actually got that paper over there.
Yeah. Tell us about the finals on stage, winning the championship.
It was unreal. We'll go leg by leg kind of thing. First leg, I'm usually pretty good on my bowls, and I ended up losing the diddle, which for me was whoa. It's like finals. You kind of want to have the first darts, but that didn't matter. I think I came out with. I was throwing a couple good shots, 85, 100, 140, stuff like that. I think I ended up with like a 19-18 darter in the first leg. So I broke Jason, and then Jason comes back with a big leg and breaks me. I think he had an 18-19 as well, or something around there. 20, could be that, 21. And then after that, I was like, okay, game time, wire. Down to the wire kind of thing, play your game. Ton, 140, ton. And I get 161 left. And I'm like, okay, I know how to do it. Triple 20. And I go for that triple 17. And it's in the corner of the wire. And I'm just out of spite. I'm like, really? I wanted that 161 on stage. Triple 20. I just kind of, just out of spite. I knew I needed to hit it to leave 24, but it was more out of, really, I'm just going to hit this cuz kind of thing. And it was half spite, half I need to hit it. But I ended up doing that, and then 24 with one dart. Jason wasn't far behind. Well, yeah, he just hit 99 to leave 136, and I know Jason at the time was very good on his high outs, and that's why we were there. Our outing was very good, and I couldn't let him shoot at 136, so I just wasted no time on the 24. Took out the game in 13.
Seeing the two of you celebrate right after was just priceless on stage.
Yeah, Jason and I've always known of Jason because he was always, like, you see Farnan on the back of the shirt. When I first came in, he was last year junior, I think it was. And then him moving up to senior, I didn't have to see him as much, but I still got thrown into senior in my last year of junior. So that's when I started kind of getting to know the older guys like Trevor. There was Raven and Big Red and everybody like that. And Jason and I kind of clicked last year at when we first started throwing at the Find Apart at the Ontario Open down in St. Catharines. Can't remember what that one was called. I think it was Ontario Open.
Yeah, the Ontario Youth Open.
Yeah, that one. And then Tri-City tournament, we went up and played teams. He asked me, I think it was at the Find Apart. Might have been the Find Apart. It was in Cambridge, this one tournament we went to. And he beat me in the finals after I beat him in the round robin. So he beat me in the finals 3-1 of that. And him, Connor Watt, and Devin Gross all were going to this Tri-City tournament. They need a fourth. So they all kind of talked amongst ourselves and got me involved in that. So I ended up playing doubles with Devin. Devin and I got pretty close there. And then Jason and I just kept hitting it off. We kept talking. And I think I saw him at one other tournament before provincials. And when I saw him at provincials, we were throwing Friday night, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. And then right before the finals, we went over to talk to Randy. Then we started throwing. We were just kind of being, you're just shooting the breeze kind of thing. And we played 301 only bulls just to kind of, why not? We've got a big game. Why not stress anything? So we just kind of did that. Had a little bit of fun, started joking around, and just kept it light. Like, we got a good friendship going there, and then we ended up seeing each other in the finals. So it was like playing someone you played all year. So there's not added pressure on the stage as much as there's pressure on the stage.
Do you have a favorite opponent you enjoy playing against? And if there's one player in the world you would like to play, who and why?
I want to play Peter Wright, one person in the world I could play, because he's always been my favorite player, and he has been for a little while. But I actually started picking up a little trait of his. He likes to, he'll stop, and then he'll throw. And before, I was just a fluent motion thrower, kind of more like Michael Smith in a way. But now I stop, and I'm hitting more things I'm aiming at. And that's what I picked up off him. And he's always been good on his outs. So I feel like that would make me play better. I feel like my best darts would come out of him. That's the one person I would play. And probably my favorite person to play right now, I'm going to say there's 3. 2 of them are adults. So I've got Jim Long. I haven't played him much. I've only played him a couple times. But the most recent time I played him, we played best of 13. And he smoked me, but I had a lot of fun and I played good. It was laughs the entire time. And he's like a mentor to me right now. He kind of took me under his wing type thing. And Darcy Trenholm, he's a nice guy. He's a real good shot too. He actually beat Jim Long in one of the tournaments. Good shot, nice guy, nicest guy like you'll have to meet at a tournament. Him and Jim are like two, like they're sportsmen right there. Like gentlemen, Jim Long,
I've met him a couple times.
So he's definitely one of them. And then in youth, yeah, he's a good guy. I like him a lot. He plays with my dad, my grandpa, my uncle, kind of thing. He's on the Thorold League team where I am and where I will be playing eventually. And then probably for youth, either Jason or Trey House. Trey House I kind of took him under the wing in a way because we always have that one star. Like when Dylan Wall was in the league, he kind of took me under the wing. And then as soon as he aged out, I took the next guy under my wing, which I believe is Trey and Emma. But Trey for the guys because I play a lot more with Trey. And then Jason, just because we've had our battles, I got the best of them in the bigger tournaments, like provincials. But it's always fun playing him. Like I play him at least once every other week online, sometimes more than once a week. So it kind of depends on what our schedules are, and we play each other a lot online, and it's just always fun.
Well, your league down there in Niagara has done incredible this past season as Jamie's taken over. Um, Debbie and Bruce did an incredible job, but this year you had 3 people make Team Ontario, yourself, Trey, and Emma. So I was really looking forward to seeing all you guys at Nationals. It would have been great, but you know what? Let's work towards next year. We'll see how it all goes, but right now it's all planned that we will have a Nationals. But as we wrap this up, one more question. Any advice you'd give to younger youth to follow your success?
So I'd kind of say give it time. Like when I started out, I wasn't great. I was good, but I wasn't like that when I came into the league. Who won it? I think my first year, Big Red won it. I think he won it, and then the next 2 years it was Zach and Donovan that won it. I was nowhere near their skill level when I started, and I started working up to that, and I realized in that last year, okay, I can get it. I can be there. I was within reach. If I would have beat Donovan, I could have been on stage. So I would just say, take your time. Don't stress the bad games. Enjoy the good games, even if you do lose. Like, take pride in that. And whenever you can see improvements, note that. See what you did good. See what you need to work on. Like for me, my doubles were bad at the beginning. Work on those. My doubles got good. Work on scoring. And it's just been, since then, I've been running away with the game. My doubles have been great. My triples have been great. You obviously get your ups and downs, but just keep mentally sane. Don't get frustrated over those bad games. I know it's hard. I've gotten frustrated over those bad games too, believe me. But yeah, just practice your weaknesses. Like play to your strengths. If you're a good scorer, okay, work on your doubles. Maybe start bring in 121, 170, play around the world. If your scoring's not great, focus on triples a little bit more. Just focus on your weak spot of the game and don't get frustrated at your losses, but take them into account if you played better than you normally do. Just take the little victories over the big victories.
That's great. I appreciate it, Brayden. Time out and talk, and good luck to reach your goals. And hope to see you at some dart tournaments, and of course next year's provincials in March in St. Catharines. Appreciate it.
You'll see me there.
And for everyone listening, make sure you go to our website at www.dartsontario.ca to find out all the info about our organization, and make sure you like the Darts Ontario website, Facebook page, and get all the updates. Are you a current or former youth member in the Darts Ontario program? If you would like to be on one of our episodes, please email me at youth@dartsontario.com. This is Shawn Irwin, your Darts Ontario Youth Director, and we'll see you next time, our next interview on episode 2, and you won't want to miss it. Thank you, Brayden, and you have a wonderful day.
Thanks. You too. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Bye now.